Ho, 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 people.
Hey, how you doing? There's no time like Christmas, am I right? Oh, yeah!
Merry Christmas from the Hops. Stephen and Gabe are back for a special holiday episode. It's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, everyone. Welcome and hello and happy holidays and all the such. We've got our jingle balls ready and we're ready to drink some jingle ball beer.
We've got a fun, festive episode today. We are bringing back some breweries that have been on the show before that we love very much. And we have a third brewery we've never featured before with a beer that'll just knock our socks off.
Oh, can't wait.
Gabriel.
Steve Reel.
Let's grab a drink.
Oh, Christmas. There's nothing like Christmas, and there's nothing like Christmas beer.
It's Christmas Eve. Santa is loading up the sleigh. He's got a lot of work to do tonight, and he's going to be eating a lot of cookies, but what not a lot of people know, what I learned when I turned 21, what Santa really wants when he comes down the chimney is a nice beer, because the man deserves it.
I mean, I was just about to say that. Like, think about what his job entails, and think about all he has to do, like... Oh, milk for the 12th time. No, I want a beer.
He's got so many errands to run. Give
the milk to the reindeer. I need a beer. It makes the most sense.
He's got a sleigh to drive. Maybe he shouldn't drink beer.
Oh, yeah. Well.
No, that's what Rudolph's for. That's why
I was just going to say, he's not really driving. Well, he is steering.
Yeah. He's got a nightlight at the end of his nose.
Whoops. If something happens to Santa, don't blame the hop. That's all I'm trying to say.
You know what would be a Christmas miracle for you, the listener, is if you went out and followed the show at the HO Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. You can check out our fun beer content. You can see pictures of the beer we're drinking. You can see pictures of our fun festive holiday pictures this week. You can subscribe to us on YouTube if you want to look at our beautiful, beautiful logo while you listen to us. And once you've done that, you can click the bell so you get notified whenever a new episode drops. Here's a hint. It's every Thursday. You can also rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us on there, on Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcasts. Your rate and reviews are really helpful. They help the show. They help us tailor the show to you. Help us learn about what you like so that we can make the show better. And they also help get the word out about our little hop community we have here so that other hop heads can join us.
Let us know what breweries to hit next. Let us know what breweries to repeat. Let us know if we missed any holidays in the year 2020. I don't believe we did, but we would love to raise a glass to every occasion, and holidays are no exception. So if there's a holiday out there that is worth celebrating that we have not already done, let us know. We'll be sure to hit that in 2021.
If you have your own holiday that you make up, we'll celebrate it with you.
Honestly, if it involves drinking, you know you can count on us.
I'm down to party on any day that ends in Y.
Indeed.
Gabe, let's get into the news.
Beer news.
Starting things off, big shout out to a man named Steve Hindy. He is the Brooklyn Brewery co-founder, and he is finally retiring. Thank you for your beer service, Steve. He is the co-founder. He went to Cornell and originally wanted to design golf courses, which I thought was pretty dope. I didn't know that was like a major or something.
I never really thought about that. Somebody has to design them.
Somebody has to do it. That's what I'm saying. It's like so cool. He originally shifted to English education because he wanted to be a writer. And then while he was starting as a journalist at a daily newspaper in Geneva, New York, he was in the Middle East and he was covering wars and he was meeting all sorts of people like American diplomats, and they were all homebrewing. So he tried the beer and he loved it. And that's when he learned that you can make great beer in your kitchen. And so when he got back to New York, he did just that. He started Brooklyn Brewing in his kitchen. And he's helped put the brewery on the map today. Those beers are sold all over the world. So we just wanted to say good luck to Steve moving forward. Your Brooklyn brewery beers will remain an excellent choice for the everyday beer drinker.
Yes, sir. Congratulations, Steve, on your retirement. And Brooklyn Brewery is an obvious fan favorite. You can they've been on this show on our Brooklyn episode.
Indeed.
Round 43.
Oktoberfest episode.
Yep, there too.
And I've been to the brewery. It's pretty dope. And it's a great pregame to a Yankee game.
So thank you, Steve, for what you've created, and put your feet up, man. You've earned it. Coming up next in the news, Anheuser-Busch is having legal troubles once again.
No.
Because everyone hates them. An industry watchdog group, Alcohol Justice, has urged California Attorney General Javier Becerra to conduct an independent investigation of Anheuser-Busch InBev and Reyes Holdings, both of those groups, for what they believe could be antitrust violations related to acquisitions that the companies have made this past year and of late. You can read the letter if you're interested, but basically in a letter to Javier Becerra, Alcohol Justice, this watchdog group, focused primarily on Anheuser-Busch and their acquisition of Ace Beverage, which is a distributing group in Los Angeles. They also pointed to Reyes and their acquisition of Elixir Distributing in the Monterey Bay area. The letter basically purports that they are in violation of California's Cartwright Act, as well as federal antitrust statutes case law and a 2018 federal court consent agreement. This all gets very legally, not exactly the Christmas spirit, but this is interesting because basically what this comes down to is they're concerned that Anheuser-Busch is going to have such a huge control. It's like 85% or 90% of the wholesale market in California as to where beer is distributed. And so they could force smaller craft beer brewers and distributors to basically have less space on their trucks, less space on the shelves.
I mean, you know, we're not going to like take sides or anything, but it makes sense.
No, we are.
It makes sense that it's a complaint. I mean,
we're taking sides against big beer.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
This has nothing to do with Molson Coors.
Touche.
But most craft beer enthusiasts, often us included, focus on Anheuser-Busch and InBev taking over small breweries like Elysian Brewing, which is now ABI, Goose Island. I would point to Blue Point. I would point to all of these small breweries that have become part of 10 Barrel, these breweries that have become part of the Anheuser-Busch portfolio. The difference here is it's not about what they're brewing, it's about what they're distributing. And so between the two, Anheuser-Busch is getting very, very big, and this watchdog group is trying to do something about it. And we don't know if Javier Becerra is going to actually take this up as a case. Apparently he's busy. He got a new job recently. Good for him.
Good for him.
But this watchdog group is trying, and they're raising awareness about it, and I think it is important. So more to come in 2021.
It definitely makes you kind of take a step back and look at what AB is kind of like. I feel like they're kind of like the vacuum, and they're just trying to like collect all of any little small like establishment they can. And it's like, that's sometimes good, but it's more than not really bad. So definitely something to look out for.
And to what I was saying earlier, it's almost more damaging for them to have a monopoly over the distribution chain in California than it is for them to be taking over breweries like Elysian and stuff like that. So this is almost more important than what we tend to focus on. So something to be aware of.
Moving right along, Pabst Blue Ribbon is partnering up with Jackie D.
The Dan
boy, Jack Daniels. They are in a new partnership. Spirit and wine producer Brown-Forman Corporation. They are announcing the partnership with Pabst Brewing Company, and they are supplying and distributing Jack Daniels country cocktails within the U.S. and domestic military markets. Now, it seems interesting. I don't really know how to feel about this because looking online and reading about it, it kind of sounds like a Mike's Hard situation. just based off of the look and the feel and the vibe of it.
Yeah, but there might be whiskey in it.
Correct. Yes. I mean, they're definitely trying new things, and it's definitely, I can almost assume it's just going to be so much better tasting than Mike's Hard. But the partnership is basically going to enable a greater scale of distribution for the brand. And they're going to be able to, fly under the Pabst radar in all of their markets, and they'll just be better with distribution, better with sales, and they're flavored malt beverage products, and the agreement is taking place effective April 1st, 2021, which means it could be an April Fool's joke.
This whole thing is an elaborate April Fool's joke.
I don't know. They're coming in 8 flavors: berry punch, blackjack cola, cherry limeade, down home punch, Lynchburg lemonade, southern citrus, southern peach, and watermelon punch. Yeah, I don't know. I do like Jack Daniels. This might be I gotta try it and see, but I don't know. We'll see.
If there's whiskey in it, I'd give it a go. If it's just like a Mike's Hard, then I'm gonna put it with Corona Seltzer.
I will say this, looking online, I believe the ABV was for one of them was 4.9.
That sounds like a hangover.
Yeah, they look sugary, I don't know, I'd be down to try the Blackjack Cola, because Jack and Coke is, always a great mix. So it definitely doesn't constitute as This Week in Gross, but it's pushing it.
It's getting there. We don't have a This Week in Gross this week, but we have a This Week in Fuck 2020. And I think that is the Christmas spirit I'm feeling right now.
Amen. Honestly.
Sycamore Brewing has released a seltzer. This is part of their Bubs Hard Seltzer line. They're a brewery out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and they've created a lemon lime seltzer aptly named Fuck 2020. The seltzer will be available in 4-packs of 16-ounce cans, and the reason it's on our show is because it's 9.2 ABV.
Bang! Exclamation point!
That is how you say Fuck 2020.
Absolutely. That is how you seltzer. See, now we're talking.
Now we're interested. You've piqued our interest.
Why did it take this long?
It took somebody really wanting to say goodbye to this year. I've never seen just such collective hate for a year before in my life.
Rest in peace to all the people at the end of 2019 that said 2020 is going to be my year.
And
woof.
My favorite is that there are people for whom this was their year. Like this year, somebody made it to the NFL. This year, somebody made their Broadway debut. This year, plenty of people got engaged and married and had kids. There was a lot of good that happened this year. And it's just so funny to me to think it all started in 2020.
It all started that one day in March when everyone said, hey, don't go outside.
And then we never came out of our holes.
Shudder, shake it off.
Right.
And this seltzer is perfect for the occasion.
This seltzer's a good way to let it go. We have a whole episode next week to do this just for an hour. But we're going to get...
Just a big middle finger to 2020.
We're going to get into the Christmas spirit. I do not have a big elaborate toast this week. I kind of just wanted to. This is my last toast of 2020. Gabe's got the toast next week, so this is my last one, and I just wanted to give a shout out. I don't think we've really said it much on the show, but I just wanted to give a shout out to the first responders, the essential workers, the people working everywhere from in the hospitals, on the front lines, the people doing the COVID testing, the people doing the distributing of vaccines and whatnot, and the people working in grocery stores, working in delivery, working in whatever you're working in. I don't know how many of those people listen to our show. If there are any, I hope we've given you an hour a week of distraction from what's going on in your life. But I just wanted to, in the Christmas spirit, take a moment from the hop to just express our gratitude for what you've done, to say that this year has not been easy on any of us, but we know it's been hardest on you most of all. This isn't the Christmas any of us envisioned, but I just wanted to take a moment to pay sort of tribute to the fact that many of these people are not seeing their families for Christmas because they're battling a horrendous virus that won't go away. So
AKA the real heroes.
Yeah, the real heroes of 2020. So God bless you. Thank you. We appreciate you. And this week, for whatever it's worth, we are raising our glasses on our Christmas episode to the essential workers. Right, let's bust out them jingle bells, Gabe.
Jingle bells! Whoa, all the way. Oh, Christopher, what's he doing here?
That was a weird direction to take it, but what are we starting off with?
I don't know. I'm feeling it. Whatever. What are we going to do? We have 3 beers to drink.
All right, so we're kicking things off with Anchor's Christmas Ale. Anchor has been on our show before. We had them on back when we did our America episode. That was round 27, if you want to go listen to that. Anchor is one of the oldest breweries in America. They've been brewing beer forever. I would even venture to say 5 ever. But they have been doing a Christmas ale every year since 1975. They change up the recipe every year. They change up the label every year. And it's just when I think of Christmas beer, this is the first one that immediately comes to my mind. So we felt like the episode would not be complete without it.
And this is great because I've never had this.
I've never had the 2021, so
I've never had. I'm very excited to be introduced to it. And yes, as Stephen mentioned, this is a completely different one. And if you look online for the recipe, the grains, the hops, it's all just says top secret, which I love.
It's completely top secret. We'll see what we can detect in here. ABV this year it's 7%, which is on the higher end for what this beer tends to be year after year. It's got 40 IBUs. It has an Untapped rating of 3.75. It has a Beer Advocate rating of 88. On the SRM chart, it's pretty jet black. I mean, honestly, I was kind of surprised by how dark it was. It's like kind of in the 38, 40. Like there's a little reddish glow.
I feel like mine is jet black, but at the very top and the very bottom is where I see the light brown, which makes me want to put it at a 39. But I wouldn't say no to a 40 as well.
I would agree with that. It had decent head retention. It's like a nice tan head, and then it receded to a solid ring around the glass. I got a good amount of lacing though. Yeah,
me too. It looks purty.
This is apparently the darkest vintage yet, according to the brewery. From their website, the 2020 Anchor Christmas Ale has a new tree, a new recipe, same holiday tradition. Our annual Christmas Ale is a subtly spiced and sumptuously smooth winter warmer. This year's brew marks the 46th annual release of the Anchor holiday tradition.
First thing off the nose I'm getting is yeast. Like those spices 100%, but it's like it's got that spicy quality to it. I really like that.
I get some yeast. I get some cherry, mayhaps. I get some
dark fruit. Yeah, 100%.
Dark fruit, like breadiness. There is a malty sort of like a toasted malt quality to it for sure. And then behind that, I get what I very often associate with stouts, coffee, some espresso, some chocolate.
Chocolat, 100%.
Starring Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp is in your beer. Definitely the cocoa. I am getting a little bit of that like toasted malt. But it's got the hint of sweetness without being sweet. Like, it's not like a maple stout or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I don't know. It looks very rich and plentiful. But yeah, it's definitely got those stout-like smells to it.
And I would say on the nose, a little bit of booziness too. I mean, you put your nose to this and you kind of go, like if I didn't know what this was or what the label said, I would put this in the Imperial Stout category.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I it doesn't surprise me that it's 7% in the slightest. So I'm very excited for it. Ho
ho ho! Am I right?
Ho ho ho! Oh yeah, that's fun.
Fun. It's spicy. A lot of the spiciness comes out in this. Once you take a sip, that's when all of those spices come forward. Ginger, nutmeg, clove for sure. the Christmas cookie type flavors.
Yeah.
You know?
The back end is just all very nice, rich roasted malt. That's all I'm getting. Like, obviously I'm getting a lot of flavor as you taste it and swallow it. But the last thing, the back end taste, it's that roasted malt, but it's so like, I don't think I've had something like this before. It's like delectable on the back of your tongue rather than just like, oh yeah, like I'm not getting a lot of bitterness.
I'm getting some in the form of, like you said, toasted malt, and I can detect a little bit of hops back there too. I mean, there's a little bit of hoppiness to this. It's not a stout. I mean,
sure.
when you smell it, you might think stout or imperial stout, like I was saying, but when you taste it, you're like, oh no, that's an ale, that's a spiced ale, or not IPA, but in the realm of black IPA. I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to say it's as bitter as an IPA or that there's as much hoppiness as an IPA, but if I put this next to like that black IPA we had over at 67 Degrees.
Yeah, it'd be, I think we'd be able to tell the difference, but it'd be a little tough.
We're in the world. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. The tasting notes from the brewery say chocolate, toasted marshmallows, and graham crackers. And I have to say, I'm getting most of that. I feel like I'm getting more chocolate than the other two, but the graham crackers definitely there. I think that's where the malt comes in 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure that toasted marshmallow is something I get off this, maybe in my brain, but graham cracker for sure. I mean, because those spices are there, the cinnamon, again, the clove, the allspice, nutmeg, all of that stuff.
Little hint of vanilla as well.
Yeah, just, clear out your baking pantry and all of that shit is in here.
100%. I really want to talk quickly about the logo. So apparently every version of this has a different tree, hand-drawn tree as the label on the beer. And this year label features the 3 Graces. They are 3 iconic towering sequoias from the Mariposa Grove in California's Yosemite National Park. And the reason for this, what I read on the Anchor website, was that the trees are like close together and they're watching over everyone. And, it's kind of a take on being close with friends and family because we've all needed to do that this year. We've needed to stay close with people we love and hope for because of what the craziness that has been going on. So it's really not only dope to look at, but it's also got a great meaning behind it. So I thought that was really dope.
And it's hand drawn as all of Anchor's labels are. This is hand drawn by Jim Stitt. He is the man who has been designing nearly every beer label for Anchor since the 1970s. And they even have videos of it. They say like, we don't go to a computer and churn out a label. Like there's just a picture of the guy just sketching it out with his hands and he hand draws it.
So awesome.
And that's where the picture comes from. So
these are some dope looking trees.
What I love about Anchor is the tradition there. I mean, I visited them. I've been there. I talked about this on our America episode. And of course, Anchor, like every brewery, really is worthy of their own episode of The Hop. But they just are a brewery that has been doing it for so long. They're steeped in tradition. Their steam beer obviously is something that's like iconic to them. And this Christmas beer is exactly the same. It's tradition. It's every year it's something new, it's something different, something exciting, it's something to look forward to year after year. And it lets you know that it's the holidays and it's available for exactly that time, November to January,
They're also very, very popular. I mean, you can get Anchor beers like everywhere and anywhere. I mean, I see them in New York all the time, and they're San Fran. I mean, they're one of the better known breweries
because they were around. Like seriously, they were one of the first craft breweries. They've been doing it.
That's
forever.
So awesome.
So
I would love to take a tour of the brewery and just learn about the history. Like, anytime we go, we mentioned this before, but anytime we go to a brewery, we always have to do the tours and we have to learn about stuff. So, I mean, it would be a great history lesson.
I've been there. I've done it. I can't recommend it enough. It's like you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, these brew kettles are not modern brew kettles. These are tanks from,
Hey,
forever ago. These have history.
Who needs a modern thing when you got those puppies just churning out good beer?
If these tanks could talk. Am I right?
Back in our day.
How you feeling, Gabe? You feeling Christmassy yet?
Dude, I was feeling Christmassy the second you started playing that intro music.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you, too. This beer's getting me nice and warm, but yeah.
Let's move on to the next one before we get
oh boy,
hammered like the Black is Beautiful episode.
We're sleeping in tomorrow.
It's another holiday. All right. Next up is another brewery that we've had on the show before, Boulevard Brewing, which we're big fans of.
We've got their Nutcracker.
That felt like we needed a drop and I didn't know what to play.
Honestly, anything.
I really just wanted the sound of nuts cracking.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, Boulevard Brewing was featured way back in the early days of the hop on round 7. They had their own episode. We are big fans of them. We featured them on our Super Bowl episode. We featured them when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl because they are from Kansas City.
Indeed.
And we're drinking their Nutcracker Winter Warmer Ale. This is 7.8%, has 38 IBUs. It has an untapped rating of 3.51 and a beer advocate rating of 85. It is something very different from the last one. It's not as like spicy. It's more of an amber ale. I think it's more in that realm. This is...
You know Gabe loves them amber ales.
Don't we all? This one is more on the SRM chart, more in the realm of, I would say, 28, maybe a little less even, maybe 20, like 3, 4. It's reddish.
Dark orange red, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good bit of, like, I would say like an inch and a half of eggshell or off-white foam with solid retention, but unlike the Anchor Ale, no lacing here. Very clean in the glass.
I mean, this is like a little pillow. This is great. It's exactly how you said it. It looks, I mean, this is my kind of beer. The note from the brewery says, Nutcracker Ale is Boulevard's holiday gift for real beer lovers. This hearty, warming brew is a classic winter ale, deep amber in color with hints of molasses, balanced by the spiciness of Chinook hops. Chinook. Chinook. I said Chinook.
It's Chinook.
Well,
you're correct.
Tomato.
No, you're correct. I just wish it was Chinook.
Oh. Chinook. I feel like that'd be like a great last name for like a football player, like down the sideline, Chinook, touchdown. Like that would be great.
I'm drinking out of a pint glass. Can't speak for Gabe because he's not here.
Pint glass.
Also a pint glass. Look at that.
Yeah, buddy.
Great minds. Am I right? This one on the nose is way sweeter than the last one.
Wow.
The first thing that hit me here is like some honey, some floral hoppiness. Definitely those Chinook hops come through on it. I don't get a lot of those spices. I don't get a lot of what I was saying before, the ginger, allspice, nutmeg, all of that stuff. I get more of the malts, a lot of toasted bread, a lot of caramel malt. Yeah,
this is exactly what you said. I'm getting definitely the hoppiness overall. I mean, it's not overpowering. It's not like a double. It's not like a giant bite, more or less. I mean, it is, 7.8, so it's going to be hefty. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of the hops.
The citrus is there too,
mixed in with exactly like that citrus, that toffee or caramel malt backbone to it. Definitely 100%. Mm-hmm. This I can already tell I'm really gonna like this. All right, let's do it.
Oh, I already did it.
Steven, jumping the gun.
Yeah. This one is more of a hoppy beer. This one is more spicy hops, Chinook hops leading the way. It is an amber. It's not overly hoppy. It's not overly bitter. But this one doesn't say spiced beer to me because it's not one. It's more of an amber ale than anything. Right. In the mouth, you get some caramel and some bread up front. And then as you swallow it, you get more of that citrus opening up, more of the bitter. hoppy bite is in the back a little bit. It's very well balanced, I would say. Malt, hop, blend coming through. If you're someone who likes more traditional beers, likes more pilsners or amber ales or day drinking beers, anything like that, and you're looking for sort of a winter warmer that isn't so out there or winter warmer-y, this one rides the line nicely, I think.
Yeah, I mean, after the first sip, I think the first thought I had in my head was, oh, thank God I have a couple more of these because I just can't wait to polish these off. I mean, it really is solid. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of like the amber style and that sort of flavoring and coloring to it. So this has all of that, but it's got a little bit more. And, you know, as Stephen described, I mean, everything he said was right on the head. And it's got, I would say, a medium feel to it, some carbonation, but not too much. But overall, I mean, if you're not a big, you know, the IPA guy, you don't want the bite. I mean, and you want something festive and fun that's going to make you, you know, a little loose. I definitely go in this direction. Boulevard, you know, they're Nutcracker. We make our own drops now.
I started this off by saying that it looked really clean in the glass, and I think that that's the experience I had. It's really clean in the mouth. It leaves on the back end, it leaves your mouth feeling really clean. There's not a lot of lingering booziness or lingering flavor.
No.
The way there was with the Anchor one. That one was more like there was some lingering spice, the lingering, you know, there's so much flavor with the Anchor one that there's a lot going on in your mouth. This one, which is not to say this one compromises on flavor. It's just a cleaner, more straightforward drinking experience. But like you said, it's 7.8. And to be honest, for me, that puts it in a dangerous category because
it doesn't taste like 7.8 really. It tastes like maybe 6.5 ish. And even then that's, you know, you have a few of those. So I would categorize this as dangerous as well. I have to say though, now that I've been drinking it, mine actually does have a little bit of stickiness against the glass, a little bit of that lacing, like barely any, but it's definitely there.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, I have like little bits, but I wouldn't qualify it the way I see it with the Anchor one, where it just is like all over the glass. But I do see, like little bits. We love Boulevard Brewing, man. They're part of that Duvel Mortgott beer collective, which I am just absolutely obsessed with because it's Omegang, Boulevard, and Firestone Walker. And those are just three of my favorite breweries in the United States.
I believe we had them on the Super Bowl, but I believe we had one of their barrel-aged ones, if I'm not mistaken. It was either a double or a barrel-aged.
We had their Bourbon Barrel Quad. And we also
That's what it was, yes.
And we also had their double IPA out of their Smokestack series. Yeah, this is a place that we love. Go listen to Round 7 to hear all about them, how they started, how they're doing now, what we think of some of their other beers, their barrel age program, which, I mean, you know how we feel about barrel aging things.
We kind of like it. Like, it's fine. It's
okay with it.
Whatever.
Like, if you feel a need, then like we'll drink it.
I can't get over. You said it before, but yeah, there's not a lot of. It is very clean. But what's interesting is the back end is flavorful, but not too strong. It's not overpowering. It's just like a very light, like kiss of flavor that is the last thing you taste. And I'm really enjoying that, as I continue to just chug this beer.
The 38 IBUs are a little bit surprising because it doesn't taste that bitter to me. I guess that's not very bitter. 38 IBUs is not a lot, but the fact that they even listed it there, like this is one of those beers that you're like not expecting them to even give you that information, and they did. But you know what this beer is perfect for? It's perfect for day drinking on Christmas Day. So
this is perfect for day drinking on Christmas Day, for after dinner, for during dinner on Christmas Day with the fam. This is good for, you know what? I'm going to go there. I think this is just a great beer for December period.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like when I think of winter warmers, right? Anchor's Christmas beer. Give me a blanket, curl up by the fire, turn on the Christmas music. Let's settle in. This one, I mean, I could do that with any beer, but this one doesn't make me say like, oh, I need to curl up on the couch. This one's more like, I could have a barbecue. I could.
Yeah, I will give you that. Yeah, this one provides a little more opportunity. I really like this one. I don't know if I have a preference over the two we've drank it so far, just because they're so different and they have so many different flavors and whatnot. They're just like two ends of the spectrum. But yeah, man, I'm we do well on this show.
We know what we're doing.
Can I give us a shout out real quick? I know that sounds kind of like messed up and a little ego headed, and I don't mean it to be, but like we picked some good beers. Montana.
There was no reason for that. It just felt like
just because it's us.
How's your buzz level? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm definitely feeling something. I'm sure I have more of the Anchor to drink, and I'm only 3/4 of the way done with the Boulevard. But this next beer,
exactly, that's what I was.
Is going to push us over the limit. Hey.
The pièce de résistance.
We got the big daddy.
We got the final one, and this brewery has not been on the show before.
Yes,
it's the Tröegs Mad Elf. This is an ale brewed with honey and cherries. It is available once a year. It's part of their once a year series. This one, ladies and gents, is a solid 11%. It's 15 IBUs. Beer Advocate has it at 88, Untapped 3.83. From the brewery, the holidays at Tröegs start with our inner mad elf momentarily taking over the brew deck, so blame him for this cheerful ruby red creation reminiscent of ripened cherries, raw honey, and cocoa with notes of cinnamon, clove, and allspice. And for full disclosure, Gabe and I are both big fans of this beer and have had it many times, but Indeed. We're going to have it in a whole new way.
This one is definitely very, very popular. I will admit that I tried it for the first time more or less kind of recently, but it's definitely been on my radar for a very long time. The malts that are used are chocolate, Munich, and Pilsner. The hops are Saz and Hallertau. The cherries are Bing, Lambert, Van, and Royal Anne, and the yeast is Spicy Belgian.
I'm going to just go out and admit I didn't even know there were that many varieties of cherries.
Neither did I. It was a whole learning experience for me when I was researching this beer. I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty awesome. You think
a cherry's a cherry, and who knew?
Who knew? On the SRM chart, it is very red. I would put this at like a 34, 35.
Yeah, I'd put it in that range. Maybe
it's definitely very clear. It's very see-through, but it is very like red.
Yes, and it had for me almost no head at all, which was kind of surprising.
Same.
It almost looks like wine when you pour it. It's doesn't seem to have a lot of carbonation, like a tiny, tiny ring of bubbles, but for the most part, it was very clear. I'm not seeing a lot of lacing in the glass, which I'm a little surprised by. And no head whatsoever.
A little Cabernet Sauvignon, if you will. Not that dark.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
I just feel like we have to use that a few more times.
Yeah, why not?
Just because we have it.
This is the one that's definitely going to put us over at 11%.
I'm nervous.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I love it so much. All right.
The nose.
Let's smell it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Oh, man.
Honey, candy sugar, Belgian yeast for sure. When you smell this, imagine that Belgian yeast you like on your Blue Moons, on your Shock Tops. Imagine that as a baseline. That is there, but also honey for sure, fruit, cherries, obviously, chocolate kind of. I mean, there's a lot happening.
My dad would love this. He's a big fan of like the yeasty, Blue Moons. He's a big Blue Moon guy, but yeah, I know for Christmas he would love this. And so my plan this year is to get him to try this and Maybe he'll drink a full one. I don't know. We'll see.
Get Chuck drunk for Christmas.
Oh my God. I would love that. Are you kidding me? But yeah, it's definitely got that yeastiness to it. But not too much. A little bit of, it kind of smells a little bit like brandy.
Mm-hmm.
In
it's
a way.
syrupy and booze comes off the nose for sure.
Oh my God. I would hope so at 11%.
Yeah. But I mean, you smell it. It's not hiding in there. This isn't like dangerous. This is like, no, it's telling you up front what.
Also, can I just say the logo, the artwork on the label is an elf. And I mean, I don't know about you, but this elf looks wasted.
This elf had a few of these.
Like, look at him. He's like, yeah.
This elf had a few of these and then stayed up really late.
Yeah, for real.
Doing Santa's work. I'm telling you, he drives those elves beyond it's slave labor. All right.
Woof. Can we please drink?
Please, let's do it. Merry Christmas,
Merry
Gabe.
Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Steven. Merry Christmas, the hop.
Cherries, chocolate-covered cherries.
Boozy.
A lot of booze. Some
carbonation.
Some of that spiciness, like what we got on the amber ale a little bit. Some cinnamon, some nutmeg, some clove. And it's syrupy and it's full-bodied and it's just fills your mouth. I mean, it's sweet but not too sweet. It's boozy. It's yeasty. It's got a lot of carbonation to it, a lot of zing to it. This is just an explosion of flavor.
It really is, and I will have to. I have to give credit to Tröegs. I mean, I don't know who thought of like, let's pair honey with cherry because it works so well and it's really delicious. I will say this: I don't know if I would drink this with dinner. Because this is its own thing. Like, I wouldn't want the meal to, like, AKA ruin this beer, quote unquote. Like, this is something I would have after dinner just so I could fully enjoy and fully appreciate it.
Yeah, this is what I call a winter warmer. I mean, that is this to me. It's boozy. It's a slow sipper. It's flavorful. It makes you want to sit by the fire. The back end has plenty of lingering booziness, plenty of lingering sweetness, some
Fruitiness.
cherry left in your mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
This is like when you crack this open, you're just going to sit with it for a while. You're going to sit, You're going to think, you're going to reflect, you're going to do some meditation. What I want to highlight with this beer is I want to just say again what I already said, but about the spices that are in there, the Christmas spices, the clove, the allspice, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the ginger, because that is what balances it out. It is boozy and all that, but it's the reason it's not too sweet with the cherries, which are very cherry forward. I mean, if this was not balanced right, this could be cough syrup. And it's not too sweet because it's balanced with all of those spices, with all of that complexity and the booziness. You're not getting the hops. I mean, those Hallertau and Saz hops are hiding.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What kind of hops?
You say it.
Hallertau and Saz. Bruh. We never get tired of saying that.
It's just so well balanced that it's a delight. And it makes me feel like this was made by an elf who just had a long day, a lot of requests for like PS5s. They can't make enough of them. And he said, no, baby, put the eggnog away. Poppy needs a drink tonight.
100%.
And his elfish wife busted this out.
He's working those 12-hour shifts for Santa. Like, I need something stronger than tonight. It's December. It's our busiest month. we've been working all year. I just love how in every movie when they show elves, it shows them making like baseball bats and trains. And it's like, if you like, that's not what we're doing in 2020.
No,
Make the Xboxes and the PS5.
They're making hoverboards and iPhones, and there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of small pieces to that. It's a whole process.
We salute.
His job got way harder.
Oh yeah, 100%. We salute the elves making this brew. We should talk a little bit about Tröegs. We don't have a tremendous amount of time. We are definitely looking to featuring them on a future episode because they have many more beers to offer. But yeah, they are another great brewery, founded by brothers Chris and John Tröegs in 1996. Born and raised in Pennsylvania. For college, they split up with John going to Philly and Chris going to Colorado. And Chris's eyes were open to the craft beer scene. And I mean, it just kind of took off from there and they never looked back. They've grown steadily ever since. And now they operate out of what they're calling their dream plant in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which opened officially in 2011. I have always wanted to go to Hershey. We should go sometime.
Would love to, especially to visit this place. If you check out pictures of their facility they have there, they call it their dream facility. If you listen to them talk, they say, they're not a German sort of lager brewery. They're not an English style brewery. They're kind of like a do whatever we want. Like look at what's out there and go from there. And this brewery is the only one here today that we haven't featured before. And it's definitely worth visiting them in the future. They're, one of those breweries they're very big into local ingredients in and around Hershey. The owners and the brewers, they like to go to the farm. They like to get their hands on the product. They like to feel it, to experience it, to see it, and then take it home and put it into their brews. If you take a look at their website and the beer list that they have, it is hugely impressive. I mean, I've had a lot of their beers. I'm a big fan of their Perpetual IPA. It's an excellent one. I'm a big fan of their Troganator, which you can find year round. But then when you get into their once a years, that's when you get really, you get their Nugget Nectar Imperial Ale, which I've had. Obviously, this one, you get the Nimble Giant. You get the Naked Elf. What's the Naked Elf? It's
an elf, but he's showing what his mama gave him.
It's this without the cherries and the honey and the chocolate. And all that's left behind is cinnamon, allspice, clove, and tangy fruity esters. And is that not what we tasted in the back end?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're professionals.
But see, here's the thing. I would be interested in that just to see how different it would be. You know what I mean?
Master of Pumpkins Ale. I mean, they have tons and tons of their once a year series. And then what I really love about this place is they have something called their Scratch series. They brew a small batch experimental beer every week. They release it every Thursday. I don't know if they're still doing this during COVID, but it's what they were doing up until COVID. And visitors to the taproom can experience something completely unique and fresh every single week. So, it's one of those kind of places, but it's a small independent brewery that has grown to be, I believe they're like 175 employees strong or something like that, or a little more than that now. Family run, family owned place that's grown up. They're doing it really well. If you see Tröegs beer in the liquor store, I cannot recommend it enough. It's on that list of like craft beer that's going to be solid, going to get you what you're looking for. And at Christmas time, you can get the Mad Elf.
And what's cool about the Scratch series is it always changes. I mean, in order, we're looking at, hazy IPA, hazy IPA, sweet chocolate stout, lager, stout, IPA, double, orange lemon peel IPA, like they've got all different kinds, just in that specific category. But as far as all of their options, they have this, shebang series. And I know you and I kind of say that a lot. They've got a peach shebang, raspberry mango shebang, blood orange shebang, like Cara navel orange shebang. Like they've got stuff for everyone. So definitely give them a look-see.
And you know what? It's worth mentioning that I stand corrected on the Scratch series. It definitely is still going on because the most recent one is a hazy IPA with caramel pilsner and unmalted wheat malt, as well as Bravo, Cashmere, Citra, and Simcoe hops. that was released on December 10th, 2020. So it's very much still going on, very much still
there we go.
in play, and they're up to number 427. So,
sheesh. So we can get our hands on them, and they're Pennsylvania, so they're east. So we most likely can get their stuff East Coast. I mean, we were looking for beers the other day, and we saw some Tröegs. So
maybe that will be one of our taproom specials in 2021 if COVID, say it with me, fucks off. Exactly.
Goodbye, COVID. Guys, we have to go.
We do.
I know. You're just as upset as we are. But before we do, we love to end on a fun topic. Keeping in the spirit of Christmas, we are going to talk about what's going on in Tokyo, Japan, because apparently they take Christmas to a whole new level. There is a fish aquarium. It's at the Tokyo Aquarium. There is a fish.
It's a fish aquarium?
It's a fish aquarium, not any other aquarium that you might be accustomed to.
It's not a panda aquarium?
I know, dude. I was just as surprised as you were.
It's not a giraffe aquarium? All right, go ahead.
I hate you. There's an aquarium at the Tokyo Aquarium, and every year for 20 years now, a diver gets into the water dressed as Santa Claus and swims around with the fish, and people take photos, and the kids love it. And it's a whole thing, and I guess they pick a new person every year or something like that. And it's really fun, and it's really funny, and it's really wholesome. And I think my one question is just like, why? Okay, sure. I'm no judgment. You do you. But yeah, Santa Claus is swimming with fish in a segment I like to call Ho Ho Holy Shit, he's in the fish tank.
Yeah, apparently this has been going on since 1999, and the greatest part about this story is just reading some of the quotes from the visitors that were there. This is coming from the Huffington Post, so they did their research. They've got one guy, this 42-year-old guy, was visiting with his wife and 4-year-old son, and the quote is, "To be honest, my thought was, how can you swim in that outfit?" And you know what? I'm with him. I feel the same way.
No, for real, because he's wearing the entire thing. He's got the mask, the goggles on, and he's got the flippers. But yeah, the hat, the coat, and everything. There's
perfectly groomed Santa beard floating amongst the silverfish.
There's another quote that says, "Seeing the fish made me relax. I know it's difficult to hold events like this because of the coronavirus situation, but I'm grateful they still had the event."
Yeah, that
like that coat is kind of heavy. It's supposed to keep you warm.
I also love that they still had the event. They were like, you know what? I know we're shutting things down all over the world, but god damn it, Santa's going to swim with the fish. Mask up.
Roger, you're up. Put the suit on and get in.
Make it work.
It's the wildest thing. Like,
Seeing Santa with flippers is just something you don't know that you need to experience until you experience it.
Seeing Santa with fish and a shark is just like, oh, okay. I hope he's okay. Like, I hope his reindeer are going to save him.
It's just something that's like just enough off to make your brain go, huh? But
for the adults, the kids are probably sitting there going like, "Oh, it's Santa. I hope." Oh, he has a wreath as well that says "Merry Christmas." He had it underwater.
Santa got the day off work.
Yeah, for real. I got to go swim. Like what?
Santa put Mrs. Claus in charge for the day while he took a dip.
He took a dip with some fish, and that looks like that's a manatee. That's a hammerhead shark. But it makes the kids happy. The kids really like to see Santa, drowning, I guess. I don't really know, but it's definitely an attraction at the Tokyo Aquarium. So if you're
a hammerhead shark, and he's not in a cage.
No, he's like with the fish. He's like out there.
What would you have to get paid to dive into a tank with a hammerhead shark?
Probably $3.50. No, I'm kidding. I think this constitutes as like time and a half.
You think?
I think this is considered holiday pay.
Hey, Paul, remember when coronavirus happened and we didn't lay you off? We're cashing in.
Get in the tank. Put this
Don
hat
the
on.
Santa suit.
Put on the beard and go make the kids happy with the other hammerheads. Ignore the turtles. They'll snap at you.
It's more scary than the shark. It's the stingray. Isn't that how that Australian, the Animal Planet guy?
We're going to sit here until you can remember his name.
It's Steve Irwin. Isn't that
Thank you. Yes. He got a stingray, I guess, to like the heart or something. Like it. Ugh.
I wouldn't be caught dead in this tank. I mean, I'm sorry, but come sit on Santa's lap and we'll look at the fish.
Yeah. Why is he in the tank? He should be outside of the tank.
He is taking frolicking. Yeah.
Present requests like he normally does.
It seems like a very nice, fun event, and I'm happy for these people.
Tokyo, man, they go hard. They don't know what's up. They do know what's up. Excuse me. They do know what's up. They go hard.
All right, real quick, quick. We got to rank these.
Oh yeah, that's right. Number 1, Mad Elf. Number 2, Boulevard. Number 3, Anchor. However, Anchor was dope.
I am Mad Elf, Anchor, Boulevard. Boulevard was great. It just wasn't winter warmery enough for me.
Understood.
This Mad Elf is absolutely delicious. The Anchor is absolutely delicious. Drink some Christmas beer while you celebrate the holiday, while you have your roast beef, your spiral ham, your feast of 7 fishes.
And this goes without saying, but, this may not be the Christmas we all wanted, we all asked for, but if you're celebrating with one person, if you're celebrating by yourself, we are celebrating with you. We hope everyone has a great holiday, no matter how you celebrate. And we love you guys, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back to close out 2020 and get it the fuck out of here.
Bye, 2020.